with TnC too. I am gonna ask time predictions though now. I'm gonna put mine at 78 minutes.
78.
Anything above 60, gods can solo cast. So. Be prepared, guys. This is my limit.
Well,
yeah, 65.
65. All right. Well, we'll see who's gonna get closer, but I'll let you guys take it away for game number 2.
I wish we'd booked you for the possible hour black. hopefully you know. I don't end up on my own for this one. TnC Fnatic game 2.
It was really like I'm having flashbacks from yesterday. It was not a pretty sight.
Was it a fun game at least? It sounds like the ending was.
It was a fun ending, but all the way leading up to there, basically what happened, there was one fight, everybody bought back, and there was no fight for 8 minutes. There was one fight, everybody bought back. That kept happening for like 60 minutes probably. The fights were really good, don't get me wrong, but the time in between, I was kind of like, what is happening, guys? Like, you can't just be farming creeps, you have 90k net worth.
30
See how this one unravels. And the picks alone, you know, definitely has the makings of a game that could go late.
Good. Yeah.
See if that is going to be the case, though.
Which TnC should win? They have Legion Commander, infinite scaling right there.
Looking for me?
Scaling for who?
That's a good question. Who's going to win the duels?
Everyone always says infinite scaling for Legion, and my counter argument is scaling for your opponent. You lose the duels, they're scaling.
Begins.
That is true.
Hopefully no lost duels this game. Playing the offlane. It looks like Tusk is going to be there with him. So maybe dual melee see Arc Warden, but Arc Warden not maybe the strongest laning hero.
Yeah, especially against like Snowball. Can be pretty rough if they get on top of him with Snowball plus tag team. It might be a little bit of trouble. But Snapfire is pretty good against Tusk in general. You can just pokey him out of the charts. And he should be fine as well.
Mid lane, we've got the Armel Tiny up against one on the Storm Spirit. Hero we've had Armel play several times throughout his competitive history, so something he's going to be fairly familiar on. Down bottom, the Phoenix DB up against the Action Piranha. Already early Metamorph being popped. Wave. How travel. Any lanes you think gonna for this game?
I just want to see how much the Terrorblade can farm down there before being relegated to the jungle. Like, there shouldn't really be much action happening top, to be honest. Mid lane, maybe if we get a tower toss, there could be a kill. So any action lane should be bottom. Like maybe a random arrow hitting or something like that.
Unless like someone like the Tusk roams mid for a top. Too much trouble. Maybe when the runes start coming out, that's where the support. Early on, it will be Axe pressing the Phoenix Bulls. Already got for small camp pull, so that's a good start for TnC at least to get this pull going. Jabs will look toward the big camp, and we'll see if Boomy on the Phoenix can re-block that camp to give Piranha that easy arrow.
Only level 1 right now though, to the Jabs level 2. So he has to be careful, he has no dive available.
Jabs maybe knowing this, yeah, Jabs is going to leap and look for this kill. He knows Boomy just wants to die for it.
Oh, there's illusion coming though.
Wow, EB helping out his buddy. Maybe he's not another leap in. Time the fire spirits pretty well here. He needs to maybe get a Tenko going. It's actually Jabs who's used the leap charges, and he's in trouble. He's got one to go, so maybe okay after this, but that TB illusion play is absolutely sick.
Oh, I missed it.
Microed up the hill, but that's where you need to share control. Maybe Boomy could have done some body blocking.
Yeah, that's why I like to pick Naga quite a bit. You know, you just send these illusions on the supports, and your support is like, yeah, thank you.
Jabs at least is in the position to double stack.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Ancients as top lane, in an aggressive play, Legion getting kind of low.
Arc Warden is...
Phoenix should have maybe contested this double stack. Jabs, yeah. Maybe knowing that.
I think so too. You just chase him because you can't really bully out the Axe right now.
Are scanning.
And these stacks are going to be very big for the Axe later on. He almost has his ring of health, so there's no real stopping him anymore at this point. Arc Warden though, he only missed, what, 3 CS so far? So he is very rich himself.
Sure, that can be hard to last hit with, but he goes for the Quelling Blade and everything, knowing that.
Yeah, this range Quelling Blade meta has really picked off now, since the item was made cheaper. How's mid lane looking?
Mid lane, there's a rotation, there's looking for a tossback. Armel. Glyph was actually using for me. Wipe there. Stop that toss maybe. I'm not entirely sure. But that I don't think that glyph was accidental.
It didn't look accidental, no.
I mean, I also don't think it was used for any other lane. I'm pretty sure he used it to stop Armel's tossback. That was potentially a really sick play from Chuan. Is the 4-minute rune coming up? Armel going to get at bottom with the avalanche. As bottom lane, Gabby getting chased away. Jabs. Way away.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be relegated to the jungle after the meta ends here. Don't think you can contest his axe anymore.
Which seems fine, right? Like, you're not too worried if you're TnC and he's headed to the jungle at level 4, level 5, right?
Oh, yeah, that's completely fine. And Phoenix can just soak up the XP bottom. How's Arc Warden looking? He's still farming very, very well. They're not really able to pressure him at all.
Snapfire just able to secure this lane. And something I really like, going for the Scatter Blast plus Fire Snap cookie build, not going for the
Stupendous. Yep, thinking much more about the lane rather than killing the egg later on. I mean, you can just get 1 level onto Shredder anyway later on. It's the same purpose, the same effect. He's very close to his Midas already. 500 away only.
A scary thought that they've not been able to do anything to shut him down, and Legion not having the best lane, only 19 last hits. I mean, you're running dual melee against double range like that. To some extent, should be what happens. Like, you're not really. It's not like a pub game where you can just snowball on in on Tusk and have to find kills. You're gonna feed if you do that.
The only time you can ever really beat a lane like that, I feel, is when they're out of position and you catch them. But it's their mistake, you know. Like, you usually don't win this kind of lane by outplaying them.
Any chance you see Dorm TP to one of these side lanes? He's healing up back at base. I wonder if he goes for any kind of a play up.
Oh, he's 6. Yeah, he's TPing top right now. Are they expecting this is the question.
Over the trees for now. They've got the wave back though, so if anything, Storm's been missing for a long time. They kind of know it's missing, but they're going to zip in onto box, hold another pressing attack for now, but the Snapfire Cookie Stun is going to be there.
Nice.
On behalf of Storm, the first blood.
Yeah, very good rotation from the Storm.
Radiant's top tower is under
Couple of stacks to clear as well if he wants to do that. Maybe he's going to leave it for the Arc Warden. But his rotation is very good because it also secures the Arc Warden Midas. 80 gold away from it. After the small camp, he should have it.
That is pretty damn good timing for an Arc Warden Midas. This is a hero that normally doesn't get given the best laning stage. We're going to see a similar TP down bottom. It's the Tiny from Armel making the same play the Storm did. Can they kill Death Ash?
He's way tankier though.
Yep, it is going to be a phase boots Tiny running on in. Go for the Avalanche toss here. Can Death survive his way through this one? Can't go for a TP because he didn't have the mana. If he had the mana for a TP, he may have been able to just TP in front of them there and survive, but he gets brought down.
Yeah, and Gabby never went to the jungle actually. Managed to sustain himself in the lane. The pair of tangos that was delivered from the courier. And he's very happy with how this is going. He's actually out farming the axe, which is pretty rare to see.
Though. Tiny comes in, doesn't hit the avalanche. Rana quick on the fingers with the leap, and now Chuan looking for a turnaround. Can they land an arrow here? Armel trying to dodge it, but it hasn't actually been thrown yet. The toss back as Tims rotates in, and Tiny very tanky here. Can't really be brought down. He's trying to come back in to contest these stacks, but unsuccessful in doing so. Z-Ward did end up happening, and
I'm a little bit worried for his Legion commander. Like, you pick this hero to win the lane and have a decent mid game, but he's getting pretty much nothing here. Still level 5 as well.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, it's going to be, because you gotta imagine, yeah, Raven's just gonna continue to accelerate on this Arc Warden.
Dire are
I
scanning.
mean, I guess TB versus Arc Warden late game. Obviously, I mean, TB doesn't really have an answer to the bubble without the MKB, but is it a terrible matchup for TB, or is it playable?
It's actually not that bad anymore ever since Swift Blink was introduced. You have a very reliable way to get on top of him. And you didn't have that before Swift Blink because you didn't want to litter your inventory with just a Blink Dagger.
Radiant's middle tower.
So
is
this
under
late game
attack.
scenario is a lot more manageable now than it was before. It's still pretty rough, especially if you don't itemize into the BKB, which we have, not BKB, MKB, which we have seen some Terrorblades do. You just can't hit them at all through the bubble. But we'll see. Like, I think it's just a must-have. Like, you need MKB. There was this one game where In Your Dream chose not to build MKB, and he missed so many kills just because the enemies got bubble and couldn't hit them.
Yeah. The thing, it's not just the Arc Warden who getting bubbled, it's his teammates as well, so.
Yeah.
You can see Gabby TP up top. I was about to say, I mean, similar story with the very farm-centered game, but unlike previous games, I feel like neither team has made that rotation to the offlane to try to take a T1 tower yet. Finally, we see Gabby TP up there with Metamorphosis, so it looks like TnC will be the first to make this move. And Fnatic seeing this may make the same play down bottom, but it does feel like this is coming a bit later.
Yeah, but it was a very good rotation because Storm was actually moving down there as well. So he dodges the Storm and gets the top tower, which is the area he wants to end up in anyways, because he can farm much more efficiently over there. And Arc Warden is not really a hero that can pressure a tower or defend a tower this early on.
Dire's top tower.
DJ looks for the deny, also reveals his position. I think he's hoping to go for a cookie out up top. Has a TP, yep, cookie TP. He knows the exact spot to go to hide, and Bok looking for him, doesn't find him. Sneaky play, doesn't get the tower denied, but definitely worth going for there for DJ.
No, he didn't really have any other play on the map anyways. Region rune on Storm now. That could potentially be playmaking tool.
Big ancient stack on the Fnatic side. And he already farmed out most of the Radiant stacks, and
He needs to clear that soon, because Arc Warden can't farm those.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
He's going
attack.
right now actually.
Lane there, waiting to see if DJ pokes his nose out, but he knows it's not a safe place to be on the map. And this is where you kind of mentioned, you know, TB TPing top, taking this T1 tower means this entire dire jungle area is now kind of TnC place to farm. That's where the TB is going to want to play as much as possible.
Yeah, and this is really also why Terrorblade is so popular. Your Conjure Image can just push out lanes way further than other conventional carries could. And him and Naga are really the only ones that can do that. Sure, Naga, they're gonna be a duel.
They thought about it going in with the eye shot, but when they saw then they saw the TPs and thought better of it. Now look at the T1 bottom tower. So a bit later that Fnatic gets tower, but they've managed to pick up a 2k gold lead after farming their ancient stack. So Axe, Blink Dagger queued up, has 1500 gold.
Under attack.
And that's gonna be the timing they're waiting for. Storm is gonna be picking up his Kaya. He's going Kaya Sage relatively early, I'd imagine, just to be able to survive through the duel and the tiny combination. Because they don't really have a whole lot of disable for him, right? Other than the duel, there's no great lockdown. Like an Avalanche, not really what you're looking for.
Level 25 Tiny, triple toss. That's what the lockdown is.
I hate that talent. Like you never land. Foo.
I'm sure the smart money is on this game. We will see a level 25 Tiny, but before then, we're going to see a smoke kick from
TB's going to get caught out here.
Yeah.
Dead.
Has Sunder available, but this should be a kill here. They've got the Mortimer's Kisses. Throw them out, and Gabby gets pulled back in, goes for the Sunder, but Xuan knows it's coming, so he just zips over it.
He could have potentially lived if he microed his illusion away and Sunders the illusion instead. But it's a very hard play regardless, because Storm still had a lot of mana. And
there was still more Kisses too. I feel like if he gets that Sunder off, he still dies.
Yeah, it's like a, what, 5% sort of play.
Amel invis in mid. That's the toss back into the Avalanche duel.
Nice combo.
Be a nice pickoff, not letting him get any leaps off.
Yeah. I like this itemization from the Mirana actually. Going treads, really tanky, 1200 health, but not enough to survive there.
This is a build all on that side. Armel is charging in forward with the phase boost. They want to get this DJ Snapfire that's been so problematic, and with an avalanche toss, they got it. TnC with numbers in the mid lane and a Metamorph
Dire's
TP.
middle tower
I
is
like
under
the aggressive
attack.
play, getting the TP involved before this Warden is ready to fire.
Yeah, fine. That's what I want to see from TnC. Like, this is what they're really good at, and this is what I love them to do. But now they're invading the triangle, taking the big creeps away from the enemy, probably getting a deep Warden as well. Because the Dire lineup is quite greedy. Like Storm, Arc Warden, Axe, they're pretty greedy as a tri-core. And you gotta punish them. Like that they had 2k gold right now is actually a little bit of a problem for TnC.
Had no answer to what Arc Warden's been doing, farming away. Fnatic will go for a smoke. Lost this mid on top.
Now good again.
Gabby be huge from the storm. There is a Sunray heal. We'll keep follow-up. It is going to catch the Sun on Gabby, but where is Death with a blink call onto 2? The follow-up arrow is going to bring down the TP before he can even use the Sun. To Death with the perfect initiation plays, chasing, looking for more, but the snowball is there from Tim. This is something actually still getting lower. Dunk should be coming soon, and Death is going to be looking to use his movement to chase for more. The kisses going to clip a couple of these heroes. Gets Boomy low, and oh, the egg going to be used with it.
Radiant's middle tower
All
is
from
under
Death. He
attack.
does make a nice little turnaround play with Armel getting the Mirana kill, and that will force Fnatic back, but they've already lost their TP for a second time back-to-back. Is there anything to stop Raven's TP? Armel's toss was 1 second away, and Death with a blink dagger. He blinks south, dodges the Tiny, to be able to get back to safety.
Yeah, could have been a whole lot worse. Good recognition here from Raven that he can just TP out. Spells on cooldown. If he dies there, it's really bad for Fnatic, but the way it went, Terrorblade dying once more. And you don't really ever want to be on the back foot against Arc Warden.
Yeah. Doing that TP 1 second before Toss was back up, he knew the exact time where he could get that TP off successfully.
Yep, a little bit later, and you're gone. Axe also managing to blink out just in time. There's a smoke coming in, though.
Find the Axe, Avalanche toss. The second they respawn, they were chasing out these Fnatic heroes in this bottom jungle. And they find the Jet Axe, who had a great blink call in that last fight to make sure the TP didn't get off asunder.
Yep, calling them out on their play. I like it. They showed on 3 lanes Fnatic that it's an unspoken rule of Dota. You can't do that and get away unpunished, and they don't.
TnC continue to make these aggressive plays. That's the TnC playstyle that we're usually used to. And with a blink dagger up on Armel's Tiny, you got to imagine that's at least somewhat the plan here. They can't afford to have Gabby continuing off, as we've seen. They need to create space for him by playing aggressively on this map.
Yeah. Storm Spirit with another region rune. Terrorblade has died here once before. Has to be a little bit careful. There is some backup, but now he's being left alone.
Radiant are scanning.
Mirana ult is activated.
Hiding in this top lane, and Mirana comes down here alone, but it's the main fight around this river where Xuan has gives himself away, but Armel's there with an avalanche into a toss. They get the pull, but the death call is there to try and bail the storm out. It doesn't buy enough time because there's a Walrus punch to try and finish him off, but he gets out after the punch finishes. The egg damage not enough. They were trying to get the kill on the storm and couldn't do so without the jewel.
Yep. Kaya Sanj. Power of 25% status resistance. Such a good item.
Plus, yeah, the strength you're getting from it as well.
Yeah. I love this itemization from him. Like any other item there, he would have died. 100%.
See, especially when finding these pickoffs, and it's not for lack of trying. I mean, we kind of asked you, we raised the question. Mid lane, Storm zips in from afar. The arrow is going to actually miss because of the Vortex pulling him a little bit further away. And now the blinking call from Death is going to be there to secure things as Xuan gets another kill. It is TnC playing the way we wanted them to play, but it just feels like Fnatic is just always one step ahead, and TnC's rotations in place aren't succeeding.
Coming out a little bit short every time. And the gold lead is steadily growing. 4k now. Let's capture the mid tower. They're not in a good spot right now. This Arc Warden is getting way too big. Sure, Terrorblade is getting farmed as well, but that's why you picked the Arc Warden to begin with. Answer that problem. Level 13 on the Arc Warden, closing on 14.
That is scary stuff.
Tiny is just 12. And Storm also 14. Actually, we haven't really talked about Storm's farm. He's just as farmed as a Terrorblade. Big problem for TnC here.
Meanwhile, the Tiny has had that Blink Dagger and been trying to make plays. Hasn't died. Armel's having a solid game, 2-0 and 3, but not enough for TnC in some ways. As Xuan does a nice job stealing the power rune, denying that from Armel. Back to safety.
And it's an amazing rune for him too. Arcane Rune Storm, there's probably nothing scary at this point in the game.
Dire are scanning.
You try to play aggressively around the same part of the map. It does still, you can still see TnC, you know, feeling confident, like they're the ones who should be playing forward on the map, even with the 5k gold deficit. They know this Arc Warden would prefer to keep farming, so they're always hunting for these kills, it feels like.
I just don't think TnC feels comfortable team fighting ever. Like, this Phoenix is really just a non-factor. Like, in a lot of these team fights, he doesn't even want to egg because he knows what's going to happen. Is Mirana itemized into Dragonlance power threats just to deal with the Phoenix even more? We have one level in Shredder. How are you ever going to get an egg off? It's just not going to happen.
This is the build I've seen from these SCA Mirana so often against Phoenix, and then they usually go into like a BKB next if they wanted to.
Yep, and then they take the leap attack speed talent rather than the arrow cooldown, and they just kill that egg.
I guess this Phoenix's job is not going to be about the egg in these fights as much. It's just about the Sunray more than anything, which I guess they don't really have the best way to cancel.
That is true, and he's also itemizing into the Holy Locket just to amplify that heal a little bit. The pace of the game is not good for TnC. 6k now. They're just steadily getting out-farmed.
Out-farmed across, yeah. All 3 cores, really. Storm works towards an Orchid, and that's going to be something that, yeah, like, these TnC, not just supports, but even the cores don't really have a good way of dealing with. TB working towards a BKB, that feels like the big time for TnC. When TB gets his BKB, they need to be taking objectives and trying to get themselves in Aegis.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, I mean, he feels pretty strong right now already, but Arc Warden already finished his Mjolnir. It's going to be a tough fight no matter what, and Fnatic knows that, smoking up now. If they win a fight, that's straight into Roche.
Yep, looking for that wraparound. They've got some good vision behind this top lane as well. The jump going to be on. Looking to back off a little bit. They don't want to get caught here. Storm could go for a zip, but TnC smoke themselves up as well. Tins immediately pops it, but he gets helped out by the pressy attack. Gets the snowball off the cold for the mid. The Kiss is raining it from above, but a good place for the egg. There's nothing to actually hit it for now. The bubble's there to help protect the axe. Gabby looks for a new target. Death gets out of it, caught by the X stun. Falling back into Xuan, looking for the kill onto Bok. Will get him with an immediate buyback. Axe wants back in on this fight. Xuan on the axe. He's out on the storm. Is out of mana.
Raven's damage.
So low, and Axe is going to go leaping and look to finish off these kills. Armel, he gets back to safety. He needs to blink out, but he jabs. He actually snipes the Tiny. And now Storm is trying to get the hell out of it. Doesn't have any mana to play around with the Arc Warden. He gets chased down. Gabby's just doing too much up against the Sunder off. He gives away the Storm as well. He's killed off both the carry and the mid. Gabby doesn't have a Sunder though. Now he's in trouble with the death buyback on the Axe. It should be enough to help bring him down. The Cookie Sunder is there, and Gabby, no dunk to worry about. With the Storm buyback, he's going to be picked off, and Bok himself with the Legion Commander, he just pulled back. This could be a dieback for him. Fnatic once again, similar to last game, using these buybacks so well. It's a triple kill for the Storm, and Death on the Axe buying back to make sure they had the lockdown to win that one.
Yeah, good news for TnC though. Like, this Terrorblade has gotten a lot of gold, and finally they do manage to kill the Arc Warden, and Storm had to buy back. So next time he dies, he's going to be on the sidelines for quite a long time. Just giving them a little bit of a window of opportunity here. 700 gold to the BKB now for Terrorblade, and he's going to be feeling very strong after that.
Would you say, I mean, in some ways it sounds like you're saying TnC even almost won that fight? Like, it was a 5k gold difference before and after it.
Yeah, I mean, sure, the Legion Commander bought back and died again. And Phoenix just died to Arc Warden. Well, he just ran into him randomly. That feels bad. But TB got a lot of kills, a lot of experience, and Arc Warden finally got shut down. Like, if Arc Warden survives that game, his gold lead will grow to like 8k or so. That game, sorry, I mean, fight.
Yeah. Next fight, Storm's going to have an Orca, it looks like, as Xuan, even after the buyback, managed to get some key kills and set himself up for scary timing. He's at level 18 now.
He's playing so aggressively too. He's just jumping into 5 heroes. He knows how tanky he is. With strength threats and the Essence Ring, he's sitting at like 2.3k health-ish. Warden's magic wand. There's no way to bring him down that quickly. Question now is, do they feel comfortable taking on Roshan with that BKB on Terrorblade? Tough fight.
Dire are scanning.
That's another big timing for TnC coming up. It's going to be this Ag Shard on the Legion Commander. That's going to give them a nice little reliable save that they can turn around on Fnatic.
That's still quite far away, unfortunately. And Axe is itemizing into Crimson Guard. I like that a lot. Like, the only damage right now to have in this game is Terrorblade. And it's going to be mitigated by a lot once you have this Crimson Guard.
Look up, they see Death in his mid lane. Are they going to go jump for the jump on him or look for someone else? He's taking a while. He's not getting the spins. Couldn't get the blink off in time. As Tiny goes blinking in.
He turned the wrong way.
With the duel. They want to get him in. Meanwhile, Armel on the backline looks for the Snapfire, throws him back in. Gabby has got the Metamorph out. He gets the 2 kills quickly. The egg perhaps being used a bit unnecessarily by the Phoenix there, thinking a bigger fight was brewing, and TnC looked to be headed towards the Roche pit.
Yeah, there was an Axe buyback. He's dead for 60. It was a little bit unfortunate. Like, Axe turned around just as the cookie came. Otherwise, he would have been over the ice shards, resulting in his death. Now that's a Roshan. That's the pace TnC is looking for. Abusing the fact that Raven doesn't really want to join fights yet. Very close to a Skadi though. Once that's online, he's more than ready to fight.
Feels like, yeah, TnC have, game plan wise, have played this game perfectly. They've been behind pretty much for most of the game by a small bit of goal, but they know they have to keep playing aggressive. It's like a lot of teams, I feel like, in their position would have just sat back and tried to farm, but despite losing this early game, they are constantly looking for the next fight, looking for the next opening to try to take Roshan, and they finally get it.
Yeah. They are going to have some damage problems for a while. So I really want Gabby to double down on the damage after the Skadi, perhaps.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Perhaps that's where the MKB comes, because we mentioned against the bubble, it feels like you do eventually need that MKB.
Yeah, like if you initiate on an Axe, for example, and he just gets bubbled, he's not going to die. Unless you have that MKB. Well, I guess they could get like an Axe Scepter or something on Tusk and kick him out of it, but it's pretty gimmicky and not really reliable.
That sounds like you're asking for quite a bit there. They've got the toss, so maybe you can toss someone out, but and not maybe the most reliable. Here come Fnatic, though. They're smoked up, looking to invade this Radiant side of the map. Around this Skadi timing, every time they get a new item, like the Mjolnir first, this time the Skadi, they're making plays. TnC.
Oh, the Courier Scout.
Tower. Jabs his invis.
Courier saw them.
With the Radiant, yeah. And they had the Sentry too, so.
Yeah. And they didn't kill the Courier because they thought,
Armel?
Yeah, we're invis here.
Oh.
Armel's. Hey, yeah.
He gets spotted.
It was so close. But he has the Sentry ups there.
Dire's top
he's
tower
playing around his ward.
Attack.
He's actually looking to pull up jabs, it looks like. Has he got the damage for this?
Oh. I don't think it would have been enough either way. He's too tanky with the Dragonlance threats.
Exactly. That kind of looks like, oh, why did he take so long to Avalanche? What's he doing? But probably wasn't getting that.
I mean, he needs the double hit, and then Avalanche toss, and then another hit and the tree throw to even have a chance of killing him.
Radiant's bottom tower.
It felt like more than anything, he was waiting for that power rune. He was just camping there waiting for that 26-minute mark, and he gets himself an Arcane Rune for a potential team fight, which... Arcane Rune, yeah, I mean, you mentioned Arcane Rune and Storm. I feel like Tiny's the same thing. Having that reduced cooldown on Avalanche Toss could be a game changer.
100%. This next big pickup here from the Storm Spirit is going to be the Lincoln Sphere. After that's up, they have literally nothing to stop him anymore. Legion Commander doesn't have the gold to invest into any sort of Lincoln's pop. So it's going to be very difficult once he gets that Lincoln Sphere. Because Terrorblade hates playing against both Storm and Arc Warden. Like, you kind of got to deal with both problems. Might be a little bit too much for him in the late game.
The Fnatic side, I like what they do there. They give up the tier 2 top tower and outposts. It will TP out, makes it out. Jabs gets back to base. But they had to start cutting the waves at top. So they basically block any chance of TnC's ability to continue pressuring this top side of the map once they lose their creep waves.
Yeah, it looked very calculated too. Yeah. He was waiting there for like half a minute or so. But good news is the gold lead isn't growing, right? And at 5k for a long time. I don't know if that's good news or not, because I do favor Fnatic in the late game quite a bit.
Vanish.
Way to play these late games any better. But these are definitely the two SEA teams who
Dire's
have,
middle tower is under attack.
I guess, most late game experience and veteran players. So TnC have some better answers here in game number 2 compared to Fnatic, who
Dire's
better
middle
in game
tower
1.
is under attack.
A clone running in from behind. Gabby has a lot of problems with this. Look at the damage he's taken. Oh, this feels bad.
Boy, the Scotty slow as well.
Warden is such an obnoxious hero. Both these teams have always been sort of the gatekeeper of SEA, right? Gatekeepers, rather.
Yeah, at a point, you know, Black, you were the gatekeeper.
Yeah, I know.
Legion tried to find the storm.
Let's not talk about that.
You guys were the kings of the SEA, you know, qualifiers, but
then we go internationally and we're like, what happened?
There, yeah. You know,
We literally would not lose a single game in the qualifiers.
Attack.
And we go international. Like, huh? What? How do we play Dota?
the team that you guys would always beat, because TnC would do really well in international Dota.
Dire's
Stop them
middle
getting
tower has
to a number of lands.
The SEA community was pretty mad at us. They're like, why are you always kicking out TnC? You're failing so hard internationally. I'm
It's
sorry,
like,
man.
if you're gonna qualify, at least do well, you know.
Yeah, I'm trying my
I've seen a
best,
lot
I
of-
promise.
SEA teams have, you know, made a much bigger name for themselves. TnC winning a major, you know, T1 at the recent major, getting top 3, doing really well. So it's definitely been a, you know, a successful year for SEA Dota.
100%. They're on the radar now. I mean, they have been for a while, but mostly for Chinese teams who have been poaching them for, what, 2-3 years now?
But yeah, that's the thing. You go back to like Singapore Major in the finals, you know, it's like there was, what, 4 SEA players in that grand finals with IG and EG.
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower
But
is
nothing to
under
say on
attack.
PSG LGD, so
Dire are
SEA players
scanning.
being represented all over the world.
Yeah, so 8 said they're mostly going for Malaysian players because they naturally speak Chinese as well. I would say the same about most Singaporean players, though. Like, Ice.
I mean, there's just less Singaporean players, right?
Yeah, there's not a lot, unfortunately. Like, you can probably count them on one hand. Who's playing right now? Ice and Def? Is that it?
Pelosin is on one of the two.
Oh, Polosin? He's also Singaporean, that's true. And I guess Ponlo is also playing, right? Okay, so we have
Playing in
4.
qualifiers, but yeah, he's playing. Yep, there you go.
Not bad.
Those are the ones I know, at least. You know, for a while there were players like Nuts and stuff as well.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, a lot of people have just kind of disappeared without ever saying anything. Maybe we'll see them again one day. The mystery comeback.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, when's your comeback happening, Black?
You don't know what's happening behind the scenes.
You're pulling some strings.
All the strings are pulling me. I'm not sure yet.
Radiant's bottom tower
Here we go.
is under attack.
TnC looking to pull on Fnatic strings as they go for an initiation here, but a quick jump out from
Nice
DJ.
cookie.
And yeah, Cookie's over the shards.
Radiant's
Great
bottom
reactions
tower
from
is
him.
under
Gets the
attack.
blink and Cookie. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Clone's just causing problems here.
Well, we didn't ever
Power
speak about it, by the way, but there's also Warden against Phoenix with the bubble.
I honestly, we didn't speak about it. I also just didn't notice because I just, in my head, I was like, okay, this Phoenix is already counted. So I wasn't even looking for any other.
He's just dead. Leave him alone, guys.
I think he's better off just not even passing egg
Yeah.
team fights until it's like, you know, there's like one hero on it.
Until he's level 18 with the Agon and Scepter. Level 25, actually.
Oh, Arrow? Okay, gets perched off immediately
And the clone, though.
on this clone.
I mean,
It does a
this
bit
just
of
feels so bad. You need 4 heroes to kill a clone that is off cooldown in 5 seconds.
Gold Black, it's still only a 5k gold difference.
That is true. I mean, at least Terrorblade and Warden are neck and neck. You gotta think, though, that Storm Spirit just scales way better than the Tiny Wood.
Yeah. This gold difference has been the same since the 18-minute mark. So you have been, yeah, like you say, mostly keeping up, but will the scaling be there? They go for the full Hurricane Pike on Gabby, so no blink yet, going for positioning from the Pike.
And before
MKB.
MKB also, yeah. Like if he doesn't go for the full pike, he would have had MKB already for the next Roshan, which will respawn in 10 seconds, which could be a very, very big deal.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Unexpected pickup for sure, and it was something, at least initially, it looked like he had the blink queued up and changed his mind.
Yeah. So what do they have to do with Arc Warden? It's really only the Tiny that can get on top of him. Maybe the Tusk?
Is under
But
attack.
it's very risky now.
In. Go for the pub strat, 5-man snowball on top.
Into Axe Call. Woo!
There we go. Moonlight Shadow, Gabby. Perhaps dangerous position, but he feels like he's got the back. I mean, he has got the back. It's got a Legion command behind him, so and Fnatic know they can't go on him, and DJ blink get cancelled here. Avalanche toss is there, can't cook here now. Death goes for the blink call, but he blinks into an avalanche. They get the dual kill as well. Buyback and TnC find the snowball to keep their TB alive after he gets arrowed. I think he was more than okay with the health he's got. They back up to the high ground. They've committed the metamorphosis for this one.
Are they going to the pit?
They're going for Roach is already back up. I feel like they just killed Roach. Nothing's happened since they last killed Roach Black. What the hell, man?
But there's no way they're getting this for free, right? Like, you know they're going for Roach with this meta. Like, you need to do something about it.
He's Shadowbladed. He's going to pop this, or at least scout them out. The arrow comes flying in as well. Legion walks into it. Uh-oh. Armel still looking for the backlines here. They throw the egg out. Can they protect this one? Raven in there with... Oh, God, that egg just melted in no time at all. But they're going to take casualties. Axe goes down. Meanwhile, Bok and the Legion commander up to take the arrow guys as well. Raven, his clone going to die first. They want the Mirana, who gets the leap away. It stays alive for now. This TP metamorph is wearing off, so I think TnC have to be a little bit careful. They're still trying to finish off Roche. They feel like they've got enough time before Fnatic gets back. This is so risky, and they're going to realize they can't do this against the Storm. Storm falls in. Luckily, TnC has already got an out for the Tiny. He gets caught. The pressing attack going to bail him out. They get the catch with the Warrior's Punch. Is the damage there? The call from Death. Axe saving the day. He wants Armel, but he gets a Shadowblade off before a dunk can come in, and Death may pay the price for saving his Storm. Storm out of mana, TP's back to base, but this may have secured TnC Roshan. Luckily, Fnatic, they pull Roche out of the pit. And Raven with his clone here.
So be careful, Gabby!
Yep, Gabby
could kill him
by the pressy attack. I'm not sure they can do this. The Storm's back and is more or less full mana with the clarity.
Like, you need a Satanic.
Back up.
Clone up in 5 again.
He needs a lot of things, though. He needs a Satanic, he needs an MKB.
He does, yeah.
He needs an Aegis.
Oh, this row should be arrow.
Arrow's going to scout it. Catches an illusion, but this could set things up for the Storm. Either perhaps.
Gets a lot of inventory space right now.
Oh, they waited a second to blink it. It's Raven's clone that goes in. Meanwhile, jabs on the back line. He steals it. Good news, I guess, for TnC is
DJ.
And yeah, DJ's dead once. They should be able to get him a second time. They lost the Tusk in the process, but he instantly gets dueled on respawn. And Gabby with the BKB. TB. Nice steal from BJ, but I think the Storm really wanted it, and Storm may be thinking he could have had it.
Yeah. At least he took Shard, so it's a little win for them. And it means Terrorblade doesn't have the Aegis. A lot of buybacks still expanded from the TnC side, so probably still another small victory for Fnatic here.
One of the cool things I feel like TnC intentionally do that, when they get scouted by the arrow, they stop hitting Roche for like a couple seconds, so Storm mistimes the jump to Roche. Because it's like you can see how fast it's dying, so they stop hitting it for 2 seconds, then keep hitting it, so Storm jumps when it's still at like 5% health.
Yeah, but then they didn't really do anything about it. Like, Mirana was there, Storm was there, and they both hit Roshan for a good 2 seconds.
The high ground we go. TnC feeling like they can
it's a lot of damage. And MKB's up.
Yeah. The bubbles, though. Seen this story before. He doesn't want to send his hero into this bubble. He's like, yeah, I'm good. It's there, but there is a siege wagon. And with the Prestia attack magic, I mean, Gabby still holding strong. I feel like it's going to be so slow to take this rack zone with the respawns. Yeah, TnC has to back off. The bubble is just...
I hate the sound of the bubble. Every time you hear it, you just know, yeah, we ain't pushing this Rex. Spell Prism. Who's gonna get that? I feel like as though Terrorblade would love that one, to be honest, for the meta cooldown. It's gonna be the Tiny taking it.
Other items they can...
Okay.
See?
Well, you can't really level the base though, if Arc Warden's there.
It's caught in the mid lane.
Punk. Death actually going into the Hellbird. Yeah. Little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a decent investment, but you already have the evasion pierce on the
Dire's
Terrorblade.
top barracks
So
are
maybe a
under attack.
BKB or something is better?
Fast is what item does make a difference for him.
It feels like every fight he's getting stunned by something randomly or sundered.
TnC have to address this bottom lane. They're trying to trade up top, at least by going for the range tracks, but they are going to TP back to come defend. But this tier 3 tower should already be dead. They glyph it, but the high ground ward, they should reveal that they have a high ground ward here. Raven just trying to finish it off. The uphill misses, as well as the, I think, backdoor protection there.
Getting flashbacks from yesterday. That's exactly what happened yesterday all the time. TB top, Arc Warden bottom, both hitting Rex. Both TPing back.
TB did get the range tracks, but that doesn't really change much at all, to be honest. Gives them some gold, that's about it.
At least the creeps will be pushing in a little bit faster. But they have this like mini edge. Not really though.
No heroes up top, they'll slightly push Dire's way.
Yeah. Which, you know, maybe if both teams are waiting for Roshan, would be helping a little bit. Almost Satanic now in Terrorblade, and then he is Arc Warden ready. But are you Storm ready?
Trying to see if there's any other big items coming out. It's like both
Flicker.
Pent-edge
Radiant's
sword.
top tower is under attack.
Oh, Flicker on Radiant, yeah, that's always a
Radiant's
big
top
one.
tower
Looks like
has
TB
fallen.
is going to be taking that. Always nice because you can go bootsless with the
Penta-edge sword on the
Bottom
tusk.
tower is under attack.
Just so you can get the Walrus
Radiant's
punch from a
top
higher
tower
distance.
is under attack.
some bonus damage too.
Yep.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Gabby is feeling mighty strong right now.
Here I am.
But I feel like he's really not. If he gets pulled by the storm and arrowed, he's just dead. You do have a snowball save, of course, but
Dire's bottom tower
a little bit risky regardless. Storm now with the blue hole, as you guys called it.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Top tower gone. Arc Warden is closing in on this 25 talent that is
Radiant's
really,
top
really
tower
strong.
has fallen.
12 seconds, Tempest double.
Yeah.
Yeah. Higher duration, then the cooldown. Why not?
Balance and all.
Yep. Did you know that he has a 40 attack speed talent on 15 as well? Arc Warden. It's a lot of attack speed.
Armel gets the Avatos on the Storm, but he's got that.
So tanky. 3k
They
health.
don't have the luck. They need the triple toss. That's a kill with triple toss though, so that's something
100%.
TnC maybe have to look forward to. A level 25 Tiny can punish. Or even someone like an Arc Warden.
And this on Phoenix now also. I feel like just don't egg. Like, at all. Like, you're more survivable without the egg. Fuck. Like, do they have any way of piercing his Lincolns? No one has anything. Nothing. They have a Hurricane Pike and a Thunder, that's it.
Good news when maybe stop this Gabby Sunder in some of these team fights. He's now picked himself up a Swift Link.
Not Satanic.
He is essentially 6-slotted at this point.
Yeah. He'll have to sell something for Satanic eventually, though. Because otherwise he really just can't siege. Jay?
Now on the Dire. Yeah, DJ in some trouble here, gets found. Link gets cancelled and there's going to be an avalanche to find him. TnC, it feels like playing this game really well.
They are. Kind of crazy to think that they're on the back foot since the start. The way they've played.
I mean, that's the thing. If anything, I feel like I would disagree. I haven't gotten the impression watching this game at any
Radiant's
point that they've been on the back foot. Other than the gold difference, they've had a free farming Arc Warden that they haven't really pressured, but they're always the one making the aggressive move.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I guess what I meant is that I thought they would be able to pressure the Arc Warden a little bit more.
Yeah, they're on the back foot in terms of, you know, there is a sense where Fnatic at least have like a, you know, maybe 55, 60% chance of winning this game if you have the win probability.
Yeah, I mean, this game is still anyone's game, just like yesterday. This is exactly how it started. Oh no. Well,
Right. None of us thought this game would go less than 60 minutes, I don't think.
well, luckily I have my shift ends in 17 minutes. No problem.
Just like my therapist. The hour's over. See you later.
Yeah. But I still have no. Bye. He's going satanic now. And he's gonna be dropping what?
Pike or
Playing the St. Joshua, but yeah, playing against an Axe. Honestly, just drop that BKB. Who needs that?
with this game, but maybe that's maybe this is next better.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom
Constant
tower
pressure
has
on this
fallen.
bottom lane. Warden will finally get the opening to take out that tower, and meanwhile the rest of Fnatic are split up, making a move down this middle lane. Roche respawn is in the next 3 minutes, so we'll find that out soon. Fnatic perhaps with that in mind. They're smoking up, but there's a dire ward. They see everything. They finally scouted on the TnC side, but they may just get jumped here if they're not careful. Dire Scan is trying to figure out what's going on. Bok would be a dream target. They want to take out this Legion commander. He's the one who has all the save, but TnC themselves smoke up after dewarding. But Gabby reveals himself perhaps by planning an illusion. Yeah, Fnatic ping that. They know exactly where Gabby was. That illusion just appeared out of thin air. They realize that TnC were smoked up themselves, but top lane, there's creeps. It's the super rage creep flash. They're pressuring them.
Spoke about it.
They'll force Raven back, but he's got cooldown reduction and Tempest doubles, so.
Okay, so the big problem yesterday of why Trust lost with the Arc Warden, I feel like, is the main Arc Warden was just AFK in Fountain for literally 60 minutes. Like, he did not move out of base. I think if you play Arc Warden at this stage, you need to be comfortable enough to position yourself with both Arc Wardens, not just your clone. Because otherwise you're only playing 50% of the hero.
You're literally twice as strong with both, so.
Yeah. And yesterday we've just never seen it. There was no fight with two Arc Wardens ever. Just a clone, repeatedly. But I've seen so many situations where with the clone, he would have gotten maybe a Rex, maybe a hero kill more, which would have helped him close out the game.
Right now, it's a very tactical chess-like game. Storm was zipping through bottom, clearing the creeps, so constantly TnC have to go back and address this bottom lane, which they're using Gabby's illusions to do a pretty good job of. He may be considering, like, oh, I guess he can't. He doesn't have room for the boot to travel, so.
Got it.
Push out with the illusions. Roche spawning in 1 minute. Both sides going to be constantly looking to scout that one out, and Fnatic. A Moonlight Shadow play here.
You'll need them eventually, though.
Under a ward. Be able to see this one.
He needs to ping.
Mel goes in aggressive. Has the BKB, but gets caught before he can perhaps pop it. The pressing attack is there for him to bail him out a little bit. With Fox, BKB Julie goes in. He wants the axe here. Mel trying to turn and fight this one. Has the BKB of his own. There's the egg. Plays very defensively with the Sun Ray. And with that one on Raven's clone, I believe they're going to bring that one down. And Raven doesn't have that Tempest double to fight for a couple more seconds, but he's got it back up now with that low cooldown. Long duration, so. If either team's able to go back in. TnC with that vision advantage, that ward on the high ground. 2 wards around this top side of the map, causing all kinds of problems. Jump in. He just melts. Quan with the blue hole, catches out 2, falls him in. TB's dead, doesn't get a chance to thunder. Tiny dies as well. Great jump from Fnatic. They're making this work when Boomy gets sunk through the A on Disc and Storm, zipping in, bowling, looking for more as Tims can only blink himself out of there. And now TnC have a tough decision to make. Do they buy back to potentially contest Roche, or do they just let this one go and try and hold on to these buybacks?
Roche is in 5. And that's the 3rd one, I believe. So there is going to be a refresher shot, which is massive for both the Storm and the Axe. Like a double call or a double blue hole. Could you just win your team fight straight out?
They still have enough time on these respawns. They can take Roche and potentially also go for some kind of a high ground play to force these buybacks.
Yep, and there's a DD bottom. If the Storm picks that up, it's going to be massive for him. He'll be doing so much damage. Double, in fact.
What went so well for Fnatic in that fight?
I mean, they just reinitiated without BKBs on the heroes, right? Like, Tiny didn't have it, Terrorblade didn't have it, and Fnatic made perfect use of that. They jumped to support. Sure, DJ died, but they have 0 defensive tools. Terrorblade just got blown up from, what, like 2k health? He wasn't even full health when he went in.
No, yeah, Axe got, I think it was a call on TB and Tiny. If they don't have the Legion there for the save, it feels like, yeah, things can just go so wrong quickly for them.
Yeah, this plus Rex. This new Swift Blink on Arc Warden also is so incredibly powerful. Like, it just gives him so much attack speed and damage. then usually you would lack mobility as well.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Good news.
Oh,
for
Gabby's
Team
refresher!
These buybacks.
Gabby lost refresher on the courier.
I don't know if Fnatic would have seen that it was a refresher on the courier, but something was.
And he's still not going satanic. I really don't think you can play this matchup without one. Now he has it queued up again, but it's the 4th time he did. Bought like 3 other items already.
That's why Arc Warden's so popular against the TB. It feels like you need too many items, and there's too many tools the Arc Warden has against the TB to make this matchup so tricky at times.
Yeah, I'm also wondering if Arc Warden is gonna drop the Hurricane Pike for like an MKB or just more damage in general, like a nullifier. But it feels like he doesn't really need the Pike anymore. He already has mobility with a Swift Blink. More damage would be more optimal, probably. Same with Terrorblade. Like, he doesn't really need 2 mobility tools, right?
Buy something, sitting on 12k gold, whether it's an axe, doesn't even have the shard.
Moon Shard, yeah.
Moon Shard, yep. Moon Shard, Axe Scepter. You got money.
You could also buy a Moon Shard for your Storm, which could be a good investment.
We're thinking a little bit about what is the item going to be. Jump into something. There's a better option for
19k lead, 12k sitting on Arc Warden, so basically not really that big of a lead at all.
I've been watching this.
But he threw in the Arc Warden clone.
Okay. One follows up, looking for a zip zap. As Raven will lose his clone and Storm
He used BKB
out of there.
Armel used BKB, but he was completely safe. Maybe panicking a little bit.
It was going to be a follow-up, like the electric vortex in the arrow or something. I mean, they do have Fox Legion. His job is going to be always to save that press the attack to help this team out.
This combo is very, very strong, actually, to gobble up into the Arc Warden clone. And what is the cooldown? 40 seconds? The clone is 35 seconds, so it's almost identical.
Radiant's top tower is under
Constant
attack.
pressure on the base here coming from Fnatic. He just still up for a minute and a half. Not that it's like not like the item that allows them to push high ground, because it is just that. Fnatic make another play. It seems for now they're happy just to build up on their lead and poke at these buildings using the Arc Warden clone.
Yeah. Arc Warden clone flying in again.
Yep. And of course the Phoenix just dive away. Do kill it.
But mind you, this is exactly how yesterday went. Like, there was like a 30k gold lead for the Arc Warden team. And then suddenly Terrorblade team just came back. And then they had a massive lead. They went back and forth, kind of. But you're feeding a lot of gold away also if you're not getting these towers.
Up from Fnatic. Find a good jump here.
MKB on Mirana. He's so rich.
He sees the direction this game is going and it's like, yep, I'm going to be another core for us. Being an round, Storm zips in, pulls the Tiny. Kip is there looking for a snowball to help him out, but the Tiny gets the BKB off the right clicks coming from the Arc Warden on the low ground. They're going to get the Jewel out. Axe may go down here, but he's got the Aegis just for this very purpose. So just an Aegis, and they kill the second time. Armel has an Avalanche perhaps waiting for him as he respawns. The Sunray there doing good damage as well with the egg. Can they kill the Supernova? I don't think so. It's positioned well on the high ground. Death's going to get pulled back in. He goes down the egg, pops it, stuns everyone. They overcommitted trying to get the egg, but a great vortex on to 3. Oh, Fnatic, they catch everyone, but they're dying in the process. They've overcommitted here. Gabby's TP doing too much damage. Schwan, he tries to TP out, but he gets caught. Tim with the Blink Walrus Punch. He stops the TP out. Raven's going for the buildings, but he can't do much more. 5x coming in from TnC. They've stopped Chuan's TP. They know this Storm can't TP out, but he's got a lot of mana as Block does end up going down. Gabby doesn't want to chase too far without the Sunder. Has the Swift Blink, but Storm's still alive even though his TP got cancelled. What a team fight coming out of TnC.
Structures are fortified.
Yeah, very good high ground defense. Was it a buyback expended on the... No. It was way earlier where Legion bought back.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Good hold.
Back.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
It was costly, but this is sort of what they want. Like, they need this next item on this Terrorblade. And then he's gonna be the big raid boss.
Raven trying to do Arc Warden.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Just hit buildings. Actually, yesterday Arc Warden got like one of the best items to do this kind of thing. He got a Stygian Desolator. Minute 61. Buildings died so fast.
Sounds fun. Raven just chilling on this cliff. He's found a little, like, tree house for himself, I would say. You know, he's chilling, taking his clones up here near the enemy base.
Feeding away gold.
Feeding away gold, exactly.
I feel like we kind of need a separate gold counter whenever there's an Arc Warden in the game.
He realized where he is. He had lost his hand, so now Schwan on the storm.
He has no buyback.
This is a dieback.
Yeah. Oh.
Still died.
It was close.
Wow. Fnatic love what they're seeing. I like the team tips. We saw this earlier when they were tipping Schwan as well.
Yeah, gotta get the team morale up. He has a Bloodstone and a Kaya Sage.
He has all the mana in the world, and he is incredibly tanky.
Yeah. This doesn't actually stack, does it? Bloodstone and...
I believe so.
Wait. 100% mana region amplification. That was 50. I think it was changed that it doesn't stack anymore. Maybe it does again. Who knows? It's Dota.
I'm a Dota pleb. I never get this far black, player here.
I think most people never get this farmed. Like 50k net worth is pretty ridiculous. Or 30k on Storm even. Almost never happens.
With the Phoenix pick up, it doesn't lead to a whole lot. It does force TnC to play very defensively, sheltered in their base, and they may having their buildings get poked at by this Arc Warden.
I have bunching for you.
Blob.
Another toss in. Mel was there waiting for it though. He's trying to keep it alive. The storm zipping. Look at the arrow. It catches Spock on the Legion. Okay, no, we're fine. There's no follow-up.
Fake hype.
Spock has to be
I like
careful, though. Yeah, fake hype. Throw in a WoW next time. Don't worry.
Wow.
When I see a 5-second arrow hit at 55 minutes, I'm thinking, oh shit, this could be bad. Look on this clone. Linking with a 2-man vortex. The follow-up is there. Death with the call for the snowball save. Nice place by the Tusk. Abby holding his own here. Now they get the Jewelers out onto Jabs. Jabs in trouble. He's just going to die here. They get the Mirana. And Phoenix is respawn now. He's got the egg out in the middle of things and nobody's hitting it. TnC. They're tiny though.
Oh no. Get me out, God. Happening. 2 days in a row. What did I do?
Like, I mean, you have to. This is every. I mean, you have 100 minutes, but it's like. By the way, we started. This is the third best of 3 today. We're in game 2. We started the SEA broadcast like 12 hours ago.
Yeah, I know.
And we're only halfway through our third best of 3.
I woke up at like 9 AM my time. I was expecting, you know, second game of the second series. What? Third game of the first series? I went to the gym. I went to the store. If they're 2-0 stomps, it's like, oh shit, suddenly you're starting early and you're like, all right, gotta be ready. But no, it was. It was very calm. 3. Yeah. Yeah. It has been wild. Southeast Asian qualifiers. Makes me wonder.
I'm absolutely loving it though. Like it's. I mean, a nice, refreshing look at like seeing the discipline from these NCAA teams, even if it is, you know, incredibly cautious.
Will this then be the longest qualifier finals we've ever had in the history of Dota? Potentially.
What's the best of 5 just be like a 3-0 stomp with 20-minute games? We've had no 20-minute games in some nations.
Yeah. I think the last one we had was like on day 2 or day 1. Actually, I think it was day 1 with that Broodmother game. That was the last stomp we had, right?
Yeah, the last series of the day, yeah.
Yeah.
With the Neon versus Trust, right?
Yeah.
The prize is mine.
Some of the earlier series, I think, on day 2 yesterday. We had 2-0. The last 2 series yesterday were 6 games long.
Yeah. Slowly but surely, the range Rexes are falling.
$40 million, Black.
Yeah, I know.
No, Fnatic and, you know, Raven's teammates are more than happy to sit through another 100-minute game with an Arc Warden on their team if it means getting a TI.
Do you think every time Raven calls for Arc Warden, the entire team is just starting to sweat? Gotta go. Oh, no, not this again.
I think they're pausing to go to the bathroom to make sure they can last the whole game. But here we go. TnC, they've smoked up. They're on the low ground. Death is going to kind of scout them out here. He blinks through and over, but Armel's there with an avid toss. Not sure where he's heading. He's got multiple toss charges. The triple toss allows a duel as well, and Death goes down. I'm not sure where he was headed with that blink. He's forced to buy back now. Raven could be next with the clone. It's like Gabby's just going to burst down. It's the clone, though. DJ and Jabs are in full retreat mode. They gotta be careful here. Ace is on DJ. Let's have the A on this, but
Monster kill.
protection doesn't look like they have it. Boomy elsewhere, and the Phoenix goes down. That's once again the Storm making these plays happen. He uses his entire mana pool to get in and out. An arcane rune.
And Roshan is up. With all 5 heroes of Fnatic being alive. Well, it looks like another freebie, and this one has everything.
We're kind of at that point, I feel like, you know, often in 6-minute games, the Aegis just feels less impactful because you don't have a hero with slots, like you're giving it to an axe. Maybe better than this plate mail, but it's not like a massive power spike.
Yeah, I realized every time any Fnatic hero dies, anywhere, they instantly buy back. I wonder if that's like something the team spoke about or not, because it's really instant every time.
Mel making way pushing. Something TnC haven't done so much is, yeah, that kind of split push, but they're going to look to jump in. Tims goes looking. They want this Mirana, who does get jeweled up, even with the BKB, gets chased and caught off in the backline. It's going to be the Tiny, the tosses. They have the Storm. Full toss, quadruple toss. It's just toss after toss. With the Spell Prism, they bring him down. No instant buybacks this time. They realize they have messed up and do not want to just throw these buybacks. They're going to give TnC some space to push out lanes. Gabby, ooh, there's the Satanic you mentioned. He needs it.
100%. And, I mean, this is pretty much the final inventory you'll see. Maybe, I think you could still replace the Pike with like a Daedalus. First he's going to buy Moonshot.
I'm pretty sure that was 4 tosses from Armel. He timed them, spaced them so well that it came, one charge came back.
What's the cooldown of it? Like, you can't even see the cooldown anymore because it got charges now.
Yeah.
Did it lose anything? No.
When he uses one, you can see how quickly it comes up. Like, it was like 6 or 7 seconds, it feels like.
Yeah, it's definitely very low. I think it's 9 seconds, and with the Spell Prism probably closer to, what, like 7? 6
With that
something?
said, maybe I just don't know how to count because I am a college dropout after all.
It's fine. There was still a lot of tosses, and Storm died. That's all that matters.
Storm does it, buyback. TnC looking to force it. They've got to know that these heroes are buyback, it feels like, but either way, they want to make a play here. The Kiss is coming out just to try and clear these creeps. Gabby getting helped out by the Presti attack. Onto the high ground we go. There's a toss back onto the clone. Stopping some of those bubbles.
Dire's middle tower
Has got the Aghanim, has got the Demon Seal.
I really don't like that he's just sitting in base with the real Arc Warden again. Like, it just happens every time I see an Arc Warden. Just using like half the hero. I know he doesn't want to die.
Storm doesn't want to buy back as well, so they may give up the second lane. They don't buy back on this Storm. The triple arrow looks to come out, but Gabby is still forced to be reckoned with on the front lines here. They did manage to kill the Tiny Armor with the BKB up. He Shadow Blades away, and now the X stuns up as well. Catches Raven on the R4, and the Storm goes zipping in, catches 3 with the Vortex. He wants to zip, looking for more. The TB dies. He got isolated. The Storm catching the backlines, but TB was alone. They go for the gobble up play onto the axe. The TP out from Tims. The call is there though. Tims gets picked off as well. Fnatic, they bounce back. Did cost him a Storm buyback though.
Yeah, there was the last second really that he had to buy back. It was definitely nobody wanted to do.
This series, this has a feeling like we could be headed to game 3, Black. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I know. I'm very happy.
These teams, I mean, the history they've had, Fnatic and TnC, the top dogs of Southeast Asian Dota, and I mean, it's not just these 2 teams, it's all these SEA teams in the top 6 who have put on a show for everybody tuning in.
They smoke up right away. They want to deliver the killing blow here, potentially. But if they lose the Storm, they might just lose this game, because Axe also doesn't have one.
Up with the clone, once again, Raven just trying to buildings. Himself into the bubble.
Oh my god!
Without the TB, they do struggle to...
Well, it's up in 5 seconds again. This Rex is gone. Potentially even top.
Made a decision to let it go though.
Oh, he threw the creep next to the Rex, so the vector protection's not online.
Raven.
Toss again.
Now, but they're gonna
Toss again.
You can see the cooldown now. When you have got the tiny, you can see how fast those cross charges.
They gotta get out of the base. They need T6 items.
Yeah. They'll get a chance to now. The Storm has no buyback. If anything, it's Fnatic who have to play safe. This tiny triple toss has changed the way this game looks because suddenly TnC do have the lockdown to find these kills.
Jin Desolator. They have a Seer Stone on Dire. Is that good on anyone? No. Terrible.
Dan aspect maybe. Like, yeah, he replaces his telescope. I mean, the telescope is not bad. You get the look down and scan as cast an attack.
Radiant
50
are
cast
scanning.
range on a Snapfire. That almost
Radiant's
doubles
middle
your
barracks are under
cast range.
attack.
It does. I mean, it's not terrible, but you're not like a Zeus or something.
This is the double up cast range. That actually doesn't sound all too bad, Black.
Sure, I mean, if you can save someone with it, it would be really good. But most of the time, he's just throwing clones in, and then the fight starts after. Who's getting the Stygian?
Approach to these fight.
Well, Tiny's keeping the Stygian. A Seer Stone as well for the Radiant. It could be really good. Imagine a dual range.
It looks like, yeah.
Doesn't really happen a whole lot. Who has it right now? Storm.
Invisibility.
Because they don't have any ground target damage. That means wherever you book off shadows from your own team, it won't die.
Allies disappear.
Not to mention, 400 night vision could be helpful. It's, you know, you
Well, yeah, the book also gives it, yeah.
something really good.
What's the attack range of the Arc Warden now? 975. Everyone is a sniper nowadays.
Yeah, I'm sure, yeah, Sniper sees all these neutralized being added and just like, oh, that used to be my thing.
Yeah.
Deal.
But a sniper with Ballista, on the other hand, becomes an even better sniper.
At some point, there's some turns, but here we go. TnC smoke up. Raven clone.
You gotta kill that one.
Ignore it.
Like-
They're gonna bypass this. Smoke does not pop on the clone.
No?
But a shadow.
Why not? They should buff that.
Black, shut your trap. We are not buffing Arc Warden. Are you watching the same game as me? Do we want an Arc Warden buff? Do you want to see more? I mean, this is crazy Dota, but I don't think we need Arc Warden every game. Here we go, jump in, they get the vision, they look for the arrows, they're not going to connect immediately. Armo gets helped out by the pressing attack, TP in now coming from the boots to travel too. The Terrorblade.
What is scanning?
Yep. They get the scan that allows the blink call, they catch Armo's tiny, is the pressing attack there. Want BKBs to help Armel out, the kisses raining in from above.
What death is gonna destroy?
And with the Thunder, they lose the axe. That Sunrise is doing too much, Armo gets away with the Shadowblade. They're going to lose the clone now as well, and TnC have bested Fnatic for now in this team fight.
X no buyback for 10 seconds. Wow.
Time that.
And they wouldn't have left base if it didn't have it.
Seer Stone there, you know, it gave them some vision to go for when you want to breach the high
To
ground.
bait themselves.
You have a Seer, yeah. It's like if you have a Seer Stone, you definitely want somebody to carry it for that vision aspect. Like if you give it to a support.
Yeah, you could also see high ground with it. Good. I like it. And we have a fallen sky on the tiny now.
I mean, it's,
And we need a Terrorblade item. We need a ballista.
have they
Like, you can't have one ballista and not on the other team. It's just unfair. You know, yesterday Terrorblade had a ballista and Arc Warden didn't.
maybe
And Arc Warden just couldn't fight
ingredient.
anymore. You know? It's... Imagine TB with that meta range, 25 plus ballista.
Want to go in, but the bubble is there. They get the vision on the back lines here. The arrow actually catches Fox Legion. He can't save anyone for now. The follow-up vortex is there. Jabs just goes leaping in, looking to as much damage as he can with the BKB Mirana. He finishes off the tiny. Death gets sunned up on the axe, and they've taken out two. The triple arrows just wreaking havoc. Usually you don't see this. Usually you see the Moonlight Shadow cooldown, but these arrows are landing and making a big difference. Tusk, he gets the blink after the snowball, but he's still going to go down. TnC going for a big high ground push, get punished.
And Roshan spawns in 5. Every time TnC lose a fight, it's just before Roshan. Like, it was like the 4th time now, I believe. They didn't have to force this, right? Like, they wanted to do this.
Yeah, and I mean, the TP doesn't want to get too far deep, so once that bubble's on the racks, it feels like there was no killing it anyway, so Fnatic will just get themselves erosion, still have time to perhaps force... Well, I guess maybe not force these buybacks. In 50 seconds, we'll see if they do go for some kind of a play down side of the map.
Did they ever end up getting the last neutral item? No. They need that one. The Ballista would be so good. Like, having Ballista on TB against Axe, he just can't ever reach you. He just keeps getting knocked back. It's really stupid.
They're going to have to rely on the lockdown if they ever want to deal with this Arc Warden, it feels like. Buyback coming out on the Legion, wanting to make sure they have that save available.
Wow. The Arrow Starfall proc the Aeon disc on Phoenix. It's actually a pretty big deal.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
Raven with the BKB on the high ground. Navi just getting pushed back. Now he gets pulled in. He gets helped out by the Presti attack, though.
Use Satanic Death.
Satanic up. Oh, into a call. They get him with the duel. Axe death. He's overstayed. Welcome in this Radiant base. Now the kisses come raining in. DJ trying to cover him for the retreat. Jabs in the front lines with the BKB. They're going to force out an egg. And they actually kill this Phoenix. And Thunder moving. Goes down. Has the buyback immediately. TB forced to buy back. Soft is dying. This Ballista. Raven just unstoppable. Keeping everybody at bay. They have to get on top of Raven. This Ballista is just doing too much.
Yeah, way too good. The fact that Terrorblade doesn't have one is just so unfair.
Balance the scale.
You need it.
Feels like one of those games where, you know, Iceberg might be watching it and you're like, yeah, maybe Ballista was a bad idea, you know? It's like anime. Maybe it was a bad idea.
Anime is great. But what do you think about my idea? Okay, I hold that thought. They're still waiting here. But no buyback? This could potentially be the game-ending push.
Double damage.
Team's now
Double up.
they can say fishing with arrows. They get the vision. Houston. Armel. Where's the save? They don't have it. He didn't get the BKB off. It just came right as he died. Instantly buys back. Raven is just his clone committing for this, so it's not really
Radiant's top barracks
much of a
has
commitment
fallen.
from the Fnatic.
There's a new clone.
Range track, and they force a buyback. That's the thing. They just keep on forcing buybacks and losing nothing in the process. So hard for TnC to play without this Legion command to press the attack save. Trying to maneuver around these tosses. Gabby going in. Got to be careful. The vortex is there, and he's just dead.
Gabby, no buyback.
Ruby forced to egg because an arrow was about to hit him, and they're just going to focus down this egg as well as Armel, who's getting low as well. This could just be game over for Dead. It's about to be a team wipe, and Fnatic, they've done it black. They get the 2-0, an epic best of 3 going the way of the kings of Southeast Asian Dota region. They may have not had the results they were looking for during the